Welcome,
Look at that.
everybody. Happy New Year's Eve. Mr. Brown and I are on.
My
This is
people really
Vision
love
Builders for
me.
anyone
People love.
who's here for the first time. We're here every Tuesday at 7 p.m. And I'm sure you've been seeing a lot of our content. Um, and if you want to engage with us live, you can do so here every Tuesday at 7 p.m. So, a little bit about Vision Builders. If you've been looking at some of our content, Vision Builders is a coaching and mentoring platform dedicated to empowering individuals to turn their dreams into reality. And through our focus meetings, we provide guidance and support to entrepreneurs, career professionals, personal brands, helping them discover their purpose and fulfilling their destiny. Hey, Ruth. All right, welcome everybody. So we're here. And at Vision Builders, we're building visions from A to Z. Now, tonight is New Year's Eve, and we're so glad that you're here with us. Tonight, we want to talk a little bit about what you are looking for 2025. You go to our website, a plug, www.visionbuilders.com. I believe the link is already on YouTube. Go ahead and click that link. We actually have a worksheet there that we'd like you to download. There are a few reasons for that. We're going to actually be going over every section throughout this year, allowing us to write our visions out, write our dreams out. What are we hoping for? What do we want to do in 2025? And actually put some action behind it. I know I'm excited about the year to come. Um, I have a lot of ideas up here, but I haven't written them down yet. So I'm going to be uh, actually taking the um, direction and instruction from Mr. Brown so that we can actually get these things done. Um, and Mr. Brown is here. I know he's at the airport, he's traveling, but we welcome you. We thank you for being here, for making yourself available.
So it took the airline. Well, we got here in time. We should have been able to go on time, but then we had to sit there and wait for the other plane to leave. And now our luggage is just beginning to come out as of the other day. It's just coming out now. I was hoping we would be in the
I heard the
cabin.
sound.
I was hoping we would be in the cabin on our way to my new place, so I could show you all the water and everything. But this is probably a little dark, so we probably wouldn't see anything. I know the dolphins come out around 11 in the day, so I'm going to come out in the day and record it. But it's a very, very nice place. It's on an island. So my friend Sean was telling people when I was at his party, yeah, he lives on his own island. I was like, no, I don't live on my own island. But all the people go. We had like 12 people, and I was down to 5.
Yeah, it's fluctuating.
It fluctuates. Okay, well, fluctuate up.
There you go. We got 7. They're coming in. They're coming in.
So it's exciting. I'm going to be mindful of people's time. I thought I had a whole lesson together, but based on what's going on, I will change my approach. But I will talk about a couple of things. I had a revelation in the Word. I shared it with Lindsay and I shared it with Esther. And I figured, let me just share it with the team because it was really important. A revelation for me, and it was very helpful to them. So here was the revelation. So um, I was talking to someone else about, well, basically delayed gratification. And I was talking to people about how people can believe and stand for something for so long, but then it doesn't seem to happen to you. And I start looking around because so much is happening around me. But what takes long, it seems. But then when you stop thinking about it, or you take your mind off of it, or you stop looking at it, then it seems to work. And if you know what I'm talking about, you can give me a thumbs up or something in there. And I was talking to somebody about that. Like, why does things seem to take long? I know what that's what God does when you take your mind off of it, or watch pot doesn't boil and all these, BS statements. But I was going to dig in and say, well, there's a reason why things why it seems to work that way when we stop focusing on it, or when we let it go, or when we move past it, it seems to work or come to pass. How interested in that are you, Miss Michelle?
Very, very interested.
So, I like to understand the spiritual law of things and how things work. And so I went before God about it, and I said, so what exactly is going on here? And he said, well, it's law of attraction. The thing that a lot of church people try to shrink and run away from. He said, if you approaching it from the perspective, wait, I see my air fryer. Here's my air fryer coming up the throat. Come to daddy. Boom. That takes care of that.
Come on, air fryer.
Come on, air fryer. So, okay. So I said, so I thought about it, and he said to me, he said, it's from attraction. I said, help me understand. He said, well, if you're looking at something and you're frustrated and wondering when it's going to happen, why is it not happening, what's taking so long, and praying God, I'm just really believing. He said, in essence, what you're really putting out there and putting out into the air is, I don't have it, and it's taking so long to come. He said, based on that reality, you, according to your faith be it unto you, you have to receive the delay. You have to receive the, it's always coming, but never gets here. That he said that is the principle. Faith causes those things that be not as though they were. And when you pray, believe that you have received, you shall have. And I'm not trying to turn this into right, but I'm a Christian, so it is what it is. So he said, because you're approaching it from the perspective of, it's not mine, it's not yours, it's taking forever. Okay, I don't know why it's not working. There you have it. Well, when I get money one day, I'll be able to do some of these things. Okay, well, then you're saying it's one day. And so he said, notice the things you move away from. Say, I just trust you and I take my mind off it, and you just accept that's in his hands and done. You free it now out of the realm of it's not mine, it's taking so long. And once you do that, it comes to pass. And I was like, well, now it makes more sense to me than just, you know, God knows what's best and in God's time. It's like, well, now faith is the substance, right? So if you take forever,
Yeah.
and I think about every business deal, moving it off the biblical and just dealing with regular everyday stuff. And if what I just said was helpful to you, just put something in the comments. But just think about this. If you're going to do any business, if you want to train for an athletic competition, if you're going to do anything and you're treating it like, well, I hope I can win. I think I can, I don't know if I'm really good enough. You lost before you get in the ring. So everything works from that perspective. You have to approach it and attack it as if it's done, as if you've already won. You have to go into the competition with the aspect of being a winner. I was looking at an interview, I think I posted with Tiger Woods, and they were saying with Tiger Woods, so, you think it's really possible? And the guy was saying it was almost like what we discussed. You really think it's possible that you could win 4 Masters in your lifetime? And you really think? And he said, no. He said, oh, so he basically said, so you came to your senses. So you're giving up on that. And he said, no, I believe I can win more. And the guy was so disgusted. Like this N-word, the nerve of him to speak that. But if he didn't say that, and he didn't approach it like that, he wouldn't be the great Tiger Woods. He wouldn't be who he is. And so I've come to learn again that the principles that God has put in place and the things that are put in place, and people want to say the universe, whatever saying people want to use, if you whatever it is, it still works the same. And unfortunately, the children of unrighteousness are wiser in this generation than the children of light. People believe that and they speak it. I want you to look at, if you get a chance, I'm trying to remember the name of that documentary about Michael Jackson. Oh yeah, it was was it the Thriller thing? It was whatever it was. And it showed a whole documentary about how he, after they snubbed him at the awards, he wrote down this whole plan of how he's going to be the biggest artist that ever lived. And he would get in the mirror every day and he would say it. And I'm like, but those are our principles. They're created for us. And yet, the religious folk, which get on my nerve, that's demonic. And I'm like, no, nothing demonic is made to bless you. So, we've learned to frown our face up at everything. But the truth of the matter is, the spiritual laws are the spiritual laws. You plant seed. I'm talking about like in the garden, agricultural. You you plant seed with the plan for something to grow. You don't plant seed and say, well, maybe apples, maybe plums. I just don't know. No, you plant it like, no, these are apples, and this is what I plant. And just thinking about it from this perspective, how many times in my life, because I have gardens and I've been to farms and seen things that people dig up the ground and they put the seeds in all over the different places and different seeds, and they put string around it to separate
Right.
it, and then they put a piece of wood in the ground with a
Right.
picture of corn and whatever tomatoes, and they name the dirt ground. Because that's all it really is, this dirt ground. But it's dirt ground with seed in it, and they're expecting, no, tomatoes are going to grow right here because that's what I planted here. It's tomatoes. And so they're expecting tomatoes, they're expecting corn, and they're doing it, watch what I'm about to say, with intention.
Yes.
You do what you do with intention. You pray with intention and direction and clarity. You plant and you sow with intention. That means even my giving as a Christian man and a believer, I don't just say, "Oh, it's time for the bucket to come around. Let me throw my thing in there." I I do it with intention. I am putting this seed in for this harvest. If it's a harvest of surrender to God, then I'm expecting God to reward my surrender, whatever the case may be. And I used to say to the praise and worship team all the time, I used to say, you guys stand up here singing and doing all this worship for God. Are you claiming the harvest for this? And so, jump in whenever you want. Just feel free. You can jump in while I'm talking if you get excited. Go, ooh. But tell me what you're thinking. But this is good. We got a badge now, so we just chilling in the airport. You can take your strap down and attach the two bags. It's attaching all of our, me and her. Let me see if I can show you this. We got luggage like we like 50 people. Where's the flip thing over here? This is all of this. This is
No,
this is our stuff. Just the
well,
two of
you
us.
back home, and you got things to bring back home, and you guys are gonna probably do some more things. Um,
Got the
no,
new place, so I'm gonna start bringing more and more of my stuff from Pennsylvania here because this is
yep,
where I'm gonna park.
it's home. That's home.
Hmm.
That's home. Now, all you said, Mr. Brown, I think even after years of hearing you speak, I'm getting a better understanding of it now, just with the small victory that I had recently. I didn't share this with a lot of people, or I don't know if you knew this. The exam that I just took and passed was a board exam for my field, and it took me 6 times to
Okay.
pass it. And I realized this last time is exactly what you said. I already envisioned me having the victory.
Hmm.
Walking in, I was envisioning while I was taking the exam and the time was ticking, the victory, because I
Right.
know as soon as I click whether I pass or not. And I said, no, this time is a pass. This time is a pass. And as soon as I clicked, exactly what I believed for came up. And I had the biggest grin. And I said, God, this was necessary for me to see because I wanted to give up.
Hmm.
But I just knew there was something in this for me to learn and to process out. So like you said it, I went in there with intention. The way I even studied this time was different. The way that I
Hmm.
looked at it was different. The way I approached it was different. I didn't go in like, oh man, I gotta take this
I
as I
hope
did
I
in the beginning.
pass it. Yeah, here we
Right.
go
I was like,
again.
oh no, we gonna kill this. We got this. We know what we're doing. We're confident, we're bold. And I had to literally encourage myself through those 4 hours. And when I was done, I said, okay, now we can move on to something else.
Yeah. What's phenomenal about that? Let me wipe my legs here. What's phenomenal? Now, I found me a little place now to set up my little tripod so I can sit down. What's phenomenal about what you just said is Markel shared that one time when he came to the church a long time ago when he came out to the Marines, and he said how he studied to take the test to be he was taking the test so he could be promoted to
Right.
corporal at the time. And he took the test and he did everything. And when he didn't get it, he, he was cussing, I'm better than everybody in here. I work hard and all of y'all. And what's this whole thing? And he said he went back and he prayed and even his leaders put him aside and said, your behavior and the way you responded shows that you're not a leader. And he said that hit him and he said, wait, right, I came taking it, even feeling like I deserved it in my attitude, but I hadn't yet really achieved in my heart what was necessary for me to be that corporal to get that promotion. So he said he started like doing the work, like in his mind, the way he was working, what he was doing, the way he was handling things. But he's like, I was the corporal. Everything about me in my heart, everybody around me was saying I was. He said it was like 6-8 months before I can take the test again, whatever it was. But he was that. He became so that everybody was saying, "Oh, Brown got this. Oh, he's got this. Oh,
Yeah.
that's our question. Now he's got this." And so he said, when the test came, that a couple of leaders or our superiors pulled him aside and said, "Oh, we just went through the formality. We knew this was already yours. This was
That's what I'm
yours.
talking about.
We knew this was yours. So we just had to go through the formality. But yeah, you got this." And so I look at that, and if you think about and that's why I'm going to walk through with you guys, which I wanted to do today, but start to walk through the plan together because you think about it. Look at where I am from before I left. People going on the page, the birthday video saying, "Wow, you look so great, you look so fantastic, you look young," and I'm like, but that's emanating from the inside out. Everybody sees it, everybody says it. You're different. You glow different, you shine different. I'm like, but that's coming from in here, outside. I've accepted, my youth will be renewed like the eagles. He kept saying to me, the end of the thing is beginning better than the beginning of the thing. Quote
Yeah.
that scripture to me when I thought, no, the end of the thing was the end of the thing. Well, that's what life teaches you, right? So the life I live, I don't live like an old person, I almost dreaded this birthday because it was 66. And I'm like, ooh, that's she's pushing up there. But after my birthday, God was like, okay, you went roller skating and everything. What do you do that was any different than the day before? You didn't get a year older. You were a year older already. You just one more day. You just added a day to it. Right? People think, oh, on that day I turned 66. No, I was getting close to the 66 every day. I was just
Right.
one day away. Right? Greatness is the same. Greatness has the same power, right? You're closer to it every day. Success is
My
closer to
God.
you every day. You're pushing toward it. And as you're pushing toward it with the right attitude and the right mentality, you're getting there. So take this as a seed, right? I said to somebody, they asked me, how do I become successful? And I said, how did you become an adult? He said, what do you mean? I said, how did you become an adult? You were a child once. Mm-hmm. Now your legs are longer and you're taller and your face shape has changed and your voice got deeper. How did you become an adult? It just happened. I said, so basically just stay alive and keep growing. Just let it happen, right? Yeah. Same thing with the success. You aim toward that goal and then you just keep going. But it's been so many years that it's not working. Well, keep talking like that and there'll be so many more years that it's not working. Or you just keep pushing toward it and keep going forward. Count every mistake, every shortcoming, every failure that looks like a failure because it's not failure. They're just, sometimes it's delayed gratification. Sometimes it's a later reaction to you making the adjustments that you need to make to get in the right lane and wind up in the right, in the right destination. And if I can figure that out and still figure that out now, yeah, my youth has been renewed like the eagle because I've accepted that I don't have to grow this way. As people get older, that's what they do, right? They just okay. So I'm
Decline.
now on decline. I'm doing this in my spirit, in my mind, in my health, in my, I feel healthier now than I've ever been. So we're going to talk about those things, especially next Tuesday. I can't wait now for next Tuesday, just to talk about just the reality of, well, if you're putting out there into the universe, I don't have it. If you're putting out there that it's not mine, if you're putting out there why it's taking so long, if you're putting out there it's so hard, well, you can't reap back. That's the seed. You can't reap back anything different than
Mm,
that. You just can't. It's not possible. And so, and people say, yeah, no, I know people got lucky and they got rich. I say, yeah, point me to them. I want to see how they doing today.
oh,
Because if
yikes.
they got lucky, they won't usually have it. And you know what's crazy? And I've seen this too. I've met people who won the lotto, and looked up some stories. A lot of times people that are already successful are the people that win.
Hmm.
They draw that to them. They get mad when they say, well,
Oh,
you got rich because your daddy was rich and your family was rich. Okay, and so riches and success is in your family.
right.
All
Mm,
right. So you draw that to you. You know, when my adopted baby girl said to me the other day, I wish you was my dad sometime. I was like, but I am.
right.
I'm your dad spiritually. And you've picked up and taken things from me that has reshaped you, where you now have a destiny and a future in front of you that you would not have had. But that's, again, affiliation, association. You remember the video, the guy said he would go to the
Yeah.
gym just to hang around people.
Yes.
And as a result, what happened? He
Lose
said he
weight.
lost 30 pounds, just from association. So the association with success, for me, I can't be around people and don't want to be around people that just want to have their job and be happy with it. I mean, I'm happy for them, but you're not we're not on the same track. I have to diverge from my track to run with you. Well, I don't want to run with you.
Oh, wow.
Talk about some of this stuff and make some comments.
So,
Thank
Mr.
you,
Brown,
Lindsay.
I love the vision the vision that I well, not the vision, just the yeah, the vision I just saw. You said I would have to divert my track. So if you're running track and you're all going in the same direction, you're all going in the same direction. But if you're like, I gotta go this way, now you're cutting and going somewhere else. Whoa. I wow. I used to run track in high school. You have to stay on track, or you're gonna either trip someone else, or someone else is gonna get injured, or no, there's a lot of things that go wrong when you don't stay on track. Whoa, that's crazy.
Well, we got some comments here. Ruth said no decline over here.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we have a mind. What is that? We have to be mindful of the company we keep. We absolutely freaking do, Ruth. And we don't do that in a way to be better than necessary. Well, we are better than some people. We just got to own that. But we're not trying to be arrogant or highfalutin. It's just, okay, let's put it in simpler terms. If I'm trying to be an electrician, I can't keep hanging out with plumbers in plumbing school. It doesn't make their job bad. It's just that's not what I'm studying to be. I'm studying to be an electrician. So then I need to be in the places
Oh,
and be
wow.
around the people who are expert in what I want to be in electrical. I need to learn voltage. I need to learn amps. I need to learn how not to electrocute myself, right? A plumber will probably kill himself because you stick his hand in some water and such electric and he'll be gone. So my point is, it's the association. It doesn't mean that I'm looking down on you. It just means you're not going where I'm going.
You're
Nothing
not going to the
personal.
same place. Yeah.
Nothing personal. You're welcome to be there. I've said this and people have taken offense to it, but such is life. I'm not mad at people who want to do sanitation. I'm not mad at people Somebody got to do that. Somebody, listen. If not, my trash will pile up outside my house. Love and respect to the person who does that. That's not what I want to do, and that's not what I'm going to do. So therefore, I don't want to stand there and talk all day with you about how many stops you got to make if you work for UPS, and how many packages you pick up, and how mean the people can be sometimes. None of that stuff equates to who I am and what I'm doing. So it's not the conversation that I want to have continually. I may stand there with you for a few minutes and just to hear about your life and how your life flows. But when it comes time for me to run, I want to run with
Mm,
people that are doing what I want to do. The thing I think that is strong about here in Florida that I'm really liking, in Miami, I'm noticing, even if they spoke phony and fake, everybody's hustling, man. Everybody got their dream. They're trying to do something big. And I'm talking about young people, people in their 30s and stuff. And they're like got businesses. They're trying to do something. And it's that kind of thing. It's like move, move, go, go,
shake.
make
And shake.
things happen, move and shake, right? Or get left behind. I think I told you I was at this party. This was about a year or so ago, or maybe more, when I first moved out here, I think, right? Where I came to this house, they was having this party in their mansion. But it was a bunch of young kids and it wasn't
Right.
theirs.
I remember that. Yeah.
They rented it and they all pulled their money together so they could pay the rent and live there in their own rooms in that place. But when they did their presentations and their business and their meetings, this is where they had it. And I said, okay, that's faking it till you making it a little too much for me, because you ain't got no money. And I know a few people as the people would say that they got a Bentley, but they're living in their car, right? That's a little too much for me because now you're trying to grandstand. I believe in delayed gratification to get to the place you want, and a Bentley should come to me when it's time. If I'm supposed to have it, I shouldn't be chasing after Bentley. I mean, it's just that.
Right.
It's just that simple. Those things that think about things you have in your life right now, and think about what you did to get where you are right now. Now, if you're just tuning in, I'm in the airport. I just landed back in Miami and going to my new place. But just think about what you have now that once upon a time it looked like a distant dream to you. And it doesn't have to be something material. It could be something, a perspective. It could be a dream. It could be a goal. Goals that you have now that you probably never would have thought of. Everybody on the team is we're at the place that we're believing to be millionaires for the whole team, right? Well,
Yes,
that's not
sir.
something you thought about before you met me and started hanging around me. That wasn't a dream. It was like I could get this good city job, whatever, and pay these bills and nah. So now you have a whole different fire and a different dream. And just straying off a little bit, but staying on point. Dreams and having a dream and a vision to me is more important than your current situation and status. Because without a vision, people perish. And if you don't have a vision, a dream that you can then convert to a vision, it doesn't make a difference. You're gonna die where you are anyway, so it doesn't matter. It's important. But let's read some comments and just respond to some
Yep.
things. And if you got any questions, throw some questions up there.
Okay.
Association is so powerful. Yes, indeed. Throw some questions up there, some comments up there that I can talk on. Since I don't have my notes and my spreadsheet in front of me, we just gonna have to go with things that's on your heart or comments or anything you want to say. And Edward, feel free to throw in anything that's on your mind right now. Yes. Okay, so Ann said, this is why I always make sure I'm solid in my discipline. That's awesome. Right. Elaborate on that a little bit, Dr. Brown. Tell us a little bit more about what you're saying right there. Because that word discipline is a powerful word and solid in it, and I know what she's saying in terms of it's about focus and about staying true to what you're about. But I don't want to speak for you. Just tell me a little bit about what you're saying there, Dr. Brown. Speak to that a little bit. um, I'm learning so much in this season and time about
Mhm.
my discipline. I'm learning about what needs to matter and what things will take me off my disciplines. um, there's so much going on to distract you from what you're focusing on. And I have to be like mindful, like I have to catch Nutty all the time because we could be doing one thing and she'll say, "Oh, and what about this?" And "Oh, we can do this." And I'm always like saying, "Focus, focus." You like you introducing five different things, and we still working on this thing. And so she's been getting better at it because she's realizing, like, I'll say to her, like, never mind that. We got to finish this or we got to take care of that. And man, it's so easy to get off of your discipline. It's so easy to get off of your, and that's what she means by just the discipline, I believe. And I'm sure when she comments, she will. Your discipline, it's your hot. Okay, let me give you an example. When people fight martial arts, they call it a discipline. Not, oh, they're so disciplined, but like, what's your discipline? Shotokan. What's yours? Kung Fu. What's yours? Karate. This is the discipline. They call it a discipline. Did you know that? They
No.
call those different, yeah, they call it different functions. They're discipline. So what they're saying is, oh yeah, well, I don't know Kung Fu like that. That's not my discipline. My discipline is karate, or my discipline is like Shotokan, whatever the case may be, right? Um, they're saying this, they call it their discipline because this is the thing that they focus on and they practice. And anything that goes against that, they say, well, I may learn that, but my discipline is this. So does that make sense? That makes sense? Yeah. So I give this example, and you've seen me say this. I went to the skating ring and I started roller skating. I saw guys doing, cartwheels and flips and all kind of stuff. And what did I do? I went and looked up the disciplines.
Discipline.
Okay,
Mm.
right, right. There's Chicago JB. There's jam skating. I looked up the different, and I started naming them off to you. Like these are my disciplines. So I saw this one. I said, okay, Chicago JB is the style I'm interested in. I don't want to jam skate. I don't want to artistic skate. I know that California has a different style, and we could call them styles, but they're disciplines. Um, Okay, Dr. Brown, she gave us go ahead. She gave us a
Yeah.
paragraph. Go ahead and read it.
All right. I make sure that I keep my thoughts, words, and actions on the path God has called and directed me
Mm-hmm.
to achieve. I'm mindful if I'm allowing distractions to steer me off my path.
You see that? Is that not what I'm saying? All these different things that try to come up that look excited. I used to tease Lindsay back in the day and like shiny things. Shiny things. Remember that? Ooh, 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 and we could do this. Ooh, and we could do that. Ooh, and we could do this. I'm like, yeah, but we don't get anything done because there's not a focus, it's not a discipline. And so I'll be very
Mm.
careful about shiny things because the shiny things come to distract you from what you call to. We have to be
Well,
very, very careful.
mm.
Very, very careful. So we need to take what Dr. Brown said and screenshot that and stick that on a slide, right? Because for the future, because she said, yes, Brown, no more shiny things. Well, and shiny things could be in anything. I mean, in relationships, in business ventures, everything tries to distract you. What is it that you believe and know that you're standing for? One thing I could say about Nelly when it came to relationships, she wasn't chasing nothing shiny. She was like, she had an image and a picture in front of her of what she was believing for and all the details that had to come with that. And she wouldn't bend. She wouldn't get off track for that at all. So, right? So let's get a few more points and then let's wrap this thing up.
Okay.
So yeah.
Yeah. This was a great one. I love these conversations because a lot of good things come out of it. Um and just what you said earlier, I'm it's ingrained in me now. Like what I believe, what I truly believe. And I know we'll go over the Tabitha Brown video, but there was a lot of great nuggets in there too. A lot of what you teach us. We have to truly believe in ourselves, believe what we say, and stand on it. Don't sway, don't move. Really embody it. Um, and God, man, He honors that so much.
And let,
Wow.
and let me tell you, pivots are necessary for success, but pivots are not should not be distractions or diversions. See, that's right there. That's
Please. If that's the last thing you please speak on the pivots.
okay.
Cause I yeah.
So okay, a pivot sometime will change me a different direction to get to the goal, but the pivot doesn't take away the goal. Does that make sense? So to get off that treadmill that's going the opposite direction of where you're going, you have to say, okay, I'm still heading toward this destination, but maybe I need to stop wearing myself out on this treadmill and move over here to this lane that's going the way I want to go. People that are strong headed, they'll stay on something thinking that eventually it's going to work. And you have to figure out certain times that's not the way to do it. It's not going to work. Or take somebody else's, advice and somebody else's and then put it together and get your own story. But the destination doesn't get changed in a pivot.
Mm.
So I've heard people say, "Yo, you told me I got to pivot," and that's so. What are you doing now? Okay, well now I'm studying fish anatomy. Like, no, that's not a pivot. That's a total change of direction. Like how did you get from I'm studying to be a Wall Street broker to I'm mastering in aquatic life? Like that's not the same thing. So a pivot is a change of direction, still heading in your direction, right? It's still headed toward your ultimate goal. And so I may have to back the car up and head back the other way a little bit because I went on to a dead end exit and to get back on
Mm.
the right road. Or I may have to change the way I thought I get there because there's construction. But I'm still going to the same destination at the end of the day. And that's what I mean when I talk about pivot versus totally changing your plan, your goal, your dream, and everything because it doesn't look like it's working. Lindsay said George Floyd taught us that this year. Yes, it is all connected. Absolutely. So
Yes.
listen, this has been great. This has been shorter than an hour, but hey, it's still our time together, and I appreciate it. And I want to say Happy New Year. And I'm saying Happy New Year, ecstatic New Year, prosperous New Year, exciting New Year. We're not just saying it as a figure of speech. I'm expecting a great and amazing new year. And it's already started for me.
Same.
And it's already on path. So again, it's not that the new year just started for me. It's that we're just counting down the hours, but my new year started this year. I've already begun to do the things this past year to make this new year a great, prosperous, and successful new year. And that's what it's all about. So we're going to pick this up. As always, it was a pleasure. Madam
It was
Michelle,
absolutely.
bring it on home.
Yes, this is a great conversation. I am very excited about the next couple of meetings. I know we're really going to dig into some things. Again, go to the website. You must visit the website to participate and engage in the next few meetings because we're really going to dig into some plans, write down some visions. As Mr. Brown already said, dreams into visions. That's what we do here at Vision Builders. So if you don't have the worksheet, please go to the website and meet us here next Tuesday at 7 p.m. Happy New Year to everyone.
Happy New
We'll
Year
see
to
you next
everyone.
week.
Next time.